What is going on, guys? It's me, Max, back with another episode of the channel. Now, I wanted to make a video about the United Kingdom, about why the millionaires are leaving the United Kingdom, give you some of the reasons and which countries that they are going to. Now, I was born in the United Kingdom. When I grew up there in the 90s and 2000s, I can tell you right now, it was a pretty different place to what it is now. And the funny thing about the UK and Britain in general is that when you go in a pub in England, there's sometimes an old guy sat in the corner. We'll call him John. Now, John looks absolutely haggard, long hair, scruffy jacket, and he's stark raving mad, but he's pretty eloquent. He stinks of piss and vodka, but John will tell you he used to be a billionaire, and some of the people believe him. Some of them think he's talking crap, because all they know John has is a crazy old pisshead. And what the United Kingdom has become in 2025 is it's the sick man of Europe, with never-ending problems, with government administrations that just aren't making things any better. Now, our team did some research on this and they pulled some of the data off websites like Henley and Partners. In 2024, approximately 9,500 millionaires and people of high net worth left the United Kingdom. Now, if you think about that in terms of a loss of how much tax they've been paying, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. And it's a 58% increase on the previous year. And if you're thinking, why is the UK getting worse? Well, it's because all these bad policies that the government's making are driving the people that create the economy and grow the economy and create jobs out of the country, which I myself find disgusting and abhorrent. If you want to look at a study on how to ruin a country, just watch England over the last decade, and it'll be pretty clear to you how to wreck a country. Now, one of the reasons people are leaving the UK at the moment, or some of these high net worth individuals is changes to the non-dom states in the UK, which has made the country a whole lot less attractive. There are more competitive global tax regimes, whether you're talking about Dubai, Singapore, Bahrain. Hell, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Panama these days because it went pretty woke during the pandemic and pretty restrictive. But, I mean, I'd rather live in Panama than the United Kingdom at this point. Another reason why people are leaving the UK is there's been an increase in inheritance tax, there's been an increase in income tax, and there's been an increase in corporation tax. Now, if you look at countries around the UK or near the UK that have attracted a lot of global companies to it, I mean, Ireland for one springs to mind. And I'm not even saying that Ireland's doing tremendously well at the moment, because they're having a lot of problems politically and socially with the same thing that the UK is doing, which is housing loads of migrants in hotels and ridiculous things like that. But at least from a corporate tax point, they've only had 12.5% for quite a number of years now. And even over the last year, there's been the whole issue with all the farmers protesting in the UK. And Jeremy Clarkson, who's now a farmer, the famous Top Gear actor, he was even down there in his flat cap, standing there making speeches and trying to help and stand up for the people, even though he himself is a very high net worth individual, which I think is commendable. So shout out to Clarkson, the old dog. Now, another reason people have been leaving the UK is things to do with safety. And I can tell you, when I was younger, the UK was a lot more of a safe place. There wasn't nowhere near as many violent crimes or stabbings. I mean, at this point, I've got a younger brother that lives in London, and he's often telling me that he sees young guys hanging around on the streets in hoods, in masks. He sees like foreign men like chasing after women and doing all sorts of things, and crazy alcoholics shouting in the streets and having fights. Now, that doesn't sound to me like a great place that you want to live or raise children. Now, there's also been concerns over quality of life. I think that living standards in general for people in the UK are declining overall. And I went back the other year, I had to go to a relative's funeral. And I can tell you right now, I don't mind going to a nice place, don't mind going to Dubai, to Singapore, wherever, where it's nice and safe. But I can tell you right now, I don't want to go to a crappy pub in the north of England and pay £6, which I think is $7 or $8, depending on the exchange rate at the moment, for a pint of Guinness. I really don't want to do that, especially not in a very nice establishment. So rising living costs, increased tax burden, and safety standards that would make you think you're living in Somalia. Hey, I mean, come on. Even Botswana's better than the UK at this point. What? Did he just say Botswana? I said Botswana. Botswana is better than the UK in 2025. Shout out to Botswana. And people are fleeing to countries like the United Arab Emirates. I mean, Dubai stands out a bit more in that region than the other ones. But people are going there. Why are people going to Dubai? I mean, let's be honest. Yes, okay, it's a bit restrictive with some of the laws, but you have safety in Dubai. You can walk down the streets wearing your Rolex, you can drive your Ferrari or whatever you want to do, and there's very little danger unless you do something that's actually illegal or dangerous that you're going to get arrested. So people are going to Dubai, and I really can't blame them. You've got lower taxes, you're around a better class of people in terms of the behaviour, and no one's going out in the street getting drunk, attacking you, trying to steal your watch, waving a knife, or driving a car into a parade. Now for me, that sounds like a better deal than the United Kingdom. I really can understand anyone living there. Another country that was on the list when we checked was Australia. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Australia. I've never actually been to Australia, so I will say that. But I mean, during COVID, Australia was pretty restrictive, and the government really showed their true colours. I saw videos of them cracking down on protesters, and it was abhorrent to me. It does not seem like a country for free speech, free living, or anything to do with the right to have open discourse. It seems like a country that's going the wrong direction to me, and just a sunnier version of England. So yes, if you're looking for the same problems that the sick man of Europe, the United Kingdom has, maybe you can go to Australia. But I don't fancy swapping, rainy, grey skies, totalitarian England for sunny, blue skies Australia. It's the same poison running through the veins of the country. The next one you've got on the list was Singapore. Now, Singapore, I have mixed feelings about. I don't really agree with, some of the penalties they've got to do with sentencing people for minor drug offences over there. I think that's a bit too far. But again, at least in Singapore, you've got some safety. One of the girls I used to date was a tax consultant for KPMG. She ended up going to work for PricewaterhouseCoopers and live in Singapore. And she really did like it over there. She said it was a little bit boring compared to Thailand, where she was from. But she did enjoy living in Singapore, said it was safe. But again, depending on how much money you're making, it might not be the place for you. But Singapore, I'm a little bit indifferent to. Would I live there? Possibly. Better than Australia. I think a little bit worse than Dubai. The next country on the list that some of the business people, entrepreneurs and digital nomads are going to is the United States. Now, one of the great things about the United States is that because of the state system, if you're someone like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, or one of these tycoons, and you're not liking the state where you live and how it's going, like in California, you can up sticks and you can move to a better destination, which is more in touch with the good old spirit of the red, white, and blue. Now, people moving from places like California, they're going to Florida, Texas, and places where you have a little bit more freedom. Now, would I live in the United States? I think I would, but I'd have to live in a place like Florida, Texas, or one of these states that seems to actually embody the spirit of 1776 and the Constitution. Now, the other country that people are moving to is Switzerland. Now, Switzerland, I have mixed feelings about. I've only been in Switzerland for a short time period before, but I mean, it is a very clean, safe country. Again, they have pretty good laws to do with guns. And if you are someone more, I would say, on the upper end of wealth, then I would say Switzerland could be a good destination for you. But all these countries on the list, to me, are pretty decent countries to live in. The only one that I really have a problem with is Australia, and I've explained my reasons why. But I can't blame anyone from the United Kingdom for leaving, our country and going abroad. I mean, I'm in Paraguay. Obviously, I've been here a number of years, and I'm pretty happy with this country. But I appreciate that most people don't want to move to Latin America and learn Spanish. It's for people that are a little bit more adventurous. Now, people often ask me, would I live in the United Kingdom? And I can tell you right now, you've got a better chance of Donald Duck becoming the president of the United States than me living back in that country. I like to have open discourse. I like to be able to speak my mind, and I don't want the government checking what I've said on Twitter and trying to throw me in jail. So as you guys can see, it's no wonder that people in the UK, millionaires, billionaires, and high net worth individuals especially, are leaving the country. Even if you gave me anything I wanted at this point, I don't think I would live in the UK, because it just is not an option for people that want free speech, low taxes, and freedom in general. So anyway, guys, I thank you for tuning to the video. Thank you for watching the channel. If you want residency in any of the countries we provide it for, check out our website, link in there below, and I'll see you in the next video.